It's the end of an era.
All the parties, the stories.
I'm gonna miss your smell.
You were my first.
What? I knew it. I knew
It's
it.
true.
Oh, man, I'm sorry I broke your leg.
I wrote a song. Sorry. Here we go.
Keep the good times going with the crisp, refreshing taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
Whoa. Check out this new couch.
The Jeff Fisher Show, brought to you by Bud Light, Buffalo Wild Wings, Super Park, and Dobbs Tire and Auto.
Hey, welcome to Buffalo Wild Wings and the Jeff Fisher Show. How you doing tonight? Man, we got a packed house. We have a packed house. DeMarco, you and I are here every Monday night. We always get great crowds. I would say this is maybe double.
I would say so, at least double.
And Tavon Austin is here. He's our guest tonight in the first segment. I know a lot of you came out to say thank you to him for giving you something to watch yesterday. Tavon, thanks for coming out.
Thank you for having me.
You came out early, 15 minutes, took some pictures, signed some autographs. These fans are in love with you, I think, already here in St. Louis.
Yeah, I definitely appreciate all the love.
Well, congrats on the win, and congrats on a stunning individual performance, man. I know that had to feel great.
Yeah, I definitely did. I'm just thankful, Coach Fisher and the players giving me an opportunity to make some plays, and I'm just thankful to be in the position right now.
When you knew you had a chance for a house call, what was going through your mind on the punt return?
Oh, man. Well, first of all, it was a risky decision.
Yeah.
and everybody told me Coach Fisher was saying, get away. But, one thing I like about Coach Fisher, he let me play, and let me play and be myself. And, after I grabbed the ball on the 2-yard line, I just knew I had to make something happen. And I'm just thankful that my blocker was available and I was able to make a play.
So the gunner went behind you. You had let it go. Then he went behind you to try to stop the ball, and it just came right to you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. He went behind me trying to nail it down the 2-yard line, and I wasn't having that at the time, so I just picked it up and, went for the distance.
At what yard line did you have your sights set in the goal line? What point did you think this is going the distance? Pretty early?
Probably around the 50.
Okay.
Yeah, around the 50. I knew it kind of was a done deal. And I had 3 blockers in front of me.
Yeah.
And pretty much I just was praying, please don't have no hit in the back nowhere, no flag. So that was the main thing.
And the punter wasn't catching Tavon Austin.
The thing about the punter, went to the same school.
Oh, McAfee.
Yeah. Went to the same school. So he came to me in the beginning of the game, was like, don't embarrass me, Tate.
Well,
you did that. You did that. I think he understands, though. He didn't get you. You got a couple of blocks there, but also in your 81-yarder, man, Brian Quick ran a guy into the cheap seats. I went back and looked at it today. He didn't give up until the guy was on your bench.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That's something Coach Sherman always preached to us and Coach Fisher that, he want all the wide receivers to be more physical in a passing game and a run game. And that's what he did. Only thing I remember is me catching the ball and then splitting the defender, and I was gone.
that's something we've been talking about for a while, besides the touchdowns, the explosive plays, is how tough you are blocking. It doesn't matter if it's a corner, a safety, or a linebacker. You're in there throwing your body around.
Definitely. I just all want to. I definitely come from a place I always say I'm small, and so I got to do a lot of the things that the big wide receivers do. Sacrificing and throwing my body in there, and willing to get a block for Zach Stacy or all our running back. So that's one thing I'm willing to do.
It must be nice when you cross the 50 to know you're going to hit the end zone and not be caught. 50 yards out. And know you're not going to be caught.
Oh, yeah, it definitely feel good. You just got to be blessed. I thank God all the time for the speed that he gave me.
Yeah, he gave you a ton of it, but he also gave you some good sense. Your decision-making, the punt return, I know that early in the season, guys were kicking it short on purpose. They're keeping it away from you. But we remarked in the last 3 or 4 weeks, you seem very comfortable with your decision-making now. Even when you weren't popping it, you were getting 18. You got 29, I think, for the longest return before your 98-yarder. So things are coming easier to you, aren't they?
Definitely. I mean, in the beginning, it was kind of rough. I had a couple returns called back on me, a little setback. But at the same time, me and my special teams coach, we go over a lot of situations, and me and Coach Fisher, and so they definitely trust me back there. And then whatever I do, they just say, make the right decision.
Your friend and your college teammate Stedman seemed very, very happy for you yesterday, man. I know you guys are close. Talk about special teams. This guy has been a maniac on special teams. What a great performer and a great gunner.
Yeah, he been the same way since West Virginia. I never knew he had a little hit in him, though. He definitely had a good tackle yesterday. I just can't wait to he get his opportunity on offense, and we both get to shine together. Can
you talk about that a little bit? What do you think Stedman? Because we got the sense from Jeff Fisher last week that one of the things the staff will work on in this bye week is ways to get Stedman more involved in the offense. What can he bring? What can he do?
One thing about Stay, he's a for sure wide receiver. He's a possession wide receiver, great hands, and he know how to set people up. He's been doing this way longer than me. That's why I really pretty much learned how to play wide receiver was through him. And so that's one thing that can admit for him is just he went great catches and good possession wide receiver.
I like him at gunner. I like him everywhere on special teams.
Oh, yeah, I do too.
Yeah, he always makes a play. Hey, I guess everybody in St. Louis is trying to put this win in perspective, this blowout win in perspective. No one saw this coming. How did it feel in the locker room for you guys?
It felt good just because we know what we can do. Coach Fisher always explained to us that, we are one of the best teams out here, even though we're the youngest team. And that's just us to believe it. We already know that the whole world is against us. And as long as we come together and stay together, a lot of things can happen.
Tavon Austin, our guest tonight here in the Jeff Fisher Show. We'll be welcoming the head coach in the next segment or so. But, Tavon, you did a lot of things that people haven't done in the history of the game. I mean, you had 3 touchdowns of 55 or more yesterday, one of 3 guys to do that. 3rd longest punt return in NFL history. And my statistician emails me tonight, Dr. Rick Weiner, and says he believes your 3 touchdowns that went for 236 yards, that's the most yardage anybody has totaled in 3 touchdowns from his research that he can tell. When you hear those things, I mean, what goes through your that's definitely worth a round of applause. What goes through your mind when you hear those things? Because you're still young, and this is still your first year in your NFL career.
Just like you said, I'm still young. It's still on process to me right now. Only thing I think about is just, looking at the replay over and over and over. But at the time, just want to keep on pushing through. All them stats good for me, but the only one that really mattered was the win.
Yeah.
What do you do with the game ball? Who do you give it to?
Oh, that's coming to my house.
That's coming to your house. You keeping that?
How do you like playing for Jeff Fisher?
I love playing for him. He's just not our coach. He's like a father figure to us. He tells us about life. He bring people in during our rookie school and just explain a lot of things to us. So I definitely love Coach Fisher.
Yeah, he believes very much in developing relationships with his players, and he's got a very different – we've talked about this all the time. He's got a very different approach. He doesn't handle things like after the San Francisco. He had a unique approach when things weren't going well to get you guys turned around and you responded. He seems to know early in the year he was riding out a rough patch of special teams with youngsters. Everybody's saying give up on him, try to get this guy, send him to the bench. He doesn't do that, and now he's getting results. Is he different, or how different is he from any head coach you've had?
Oh, he's definitely different. He never panicked.
That's a good way to put it.
And that's a lot of my head coaches that I had panics. One thing about him, he don't panic, and he give you a lot of tries. Just not one that will snatch you out the game. He let you try to prove himself because he definitely sees something in you.
I wish I played for him. I wish I had a coach like that once.
You had a couple of coaches that panicked?
Just a little bit.
Couple guys that panicked on you?
Little bit. You see Vermeil in the Super Bowl? He panicked. No, I'm just kidding. Moving forward, man, just talking about your game. Is it fair to expect that every week? I know it's not, to expect that sort of performance. But that sort of bringing that dynamic to the offense, bringing that dynamic to the special team is something we always thought we'd see in you.
Definitely. Week in and week out, it probably don't happen, but it's just the point of me being there, and teams probably definitely have to account for me now. So it might open up Cookie on this side, or Chris Gibbons, or anybody else on the team. So even though it won't happen this week, it will happen again.
Well, the tough guy award from us goes to Kellen Clemens. I love watching this dude play. He is an absolute soldier.
Oh yeah, definitely. I used to work with him during the scout team during the week, and we would always throw deep bombs in practice. And one thing I like about him, even though it was a scout team, he would scramble in practice and all that and get a defense a good look. So since his time up, I'm glad everything happened his way.
Tavon, great to see you. We appreciate you coming out. They appreciate you coming early, signing autographs and taking pictures. I know they love it. Congratulations, and we'll talk to you again.
All right, thank you.
All right, that's Tavon Austin, who had a monster game yesterday in the Rams' monster win at Indianapolis. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll welcome in Jeff Fisher on the Jeff Fisher Show here on 101 ESPN and the St. Louis Rams Radio Network.
It's the end of an era.
All that spare change I used to get.
Sorry, I spilled Bud Light on you.
I wrote a song. Sorry. Here we go.
The crisp, refreshing taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
Welcome back on a Victory Monday night, the Jeff Fisher Show. Great turnout here, man. Great turnout. The head coach is with us. Congratulations.
Thank you. Nice tie. I like your tie.
Thank you. Thank you. Thought yesterday's performance merited me just wearing my TV garb over here to do radio. No. What a performance, really, in all 3 phases. I mean, it just dominated in all 3 phases.
Yeah, it didn't start off right. I mean, we get a touchback and we got a 15-yard penalty, and then we could jump off sides. And
wait a minute, now we got to settle down here. And then, Rob makes, that was a great sack, strip sack, and score on defense. And then, it just kind of fell into place for us. But like we talked last night, I tell you what, I didn't relax until there was about 4 minutes left to go in that game.
You didn't either.
No.
He was asking me when he could relax.
Fourth down, running clock down to 1 second, and calling timeout before we punt, just bleeding
just to make
every
sure.
single second. Yeah.
That's how much respect you have for
For
Andrew
him,
Luck, yeah.
watching him last week, after we talked last week, and then got into the plan and watching him play, and it's just, you can't take a deep breath or blink with him. But what happened early was I think the sack affected him. He got off schedule a little bit. Timing was a little off. We started sailing some balls, missed some throws, and then we hit him a few times too.
Yeah, I know
that helps. Yeah.
Well, when you start having a defensive end like Robert Quinn, a guy that's getting to the passer, and he is a definite threat, how does that change an offense? How does that change an offense coming in?
Well, we expect to see a lot more play action, a lot more chips on the way out. He got banged a little bit on that sack, but didn't affect him enough. And then what happened was into the first quarter through the second quarter, they started just going play action, and taking their shots because that was the only way they could just protect everybody. And we're still hitting them. And then second half they came out and they just. They had to try to catch up. So
it's one thing to get to the quarterback, but really when you get to the quarterback and you get the ball out like Robert's doing, he's got 5 forced fumbles. Okay.
Yes.
That's humongous. That's the kind of game. That's the play that changes the complexion of a game.
It is, and how many times have we seen that ball come out and then fall on it?
Right.
And Chris bent his legs and scooped and scored now.
That's impressive, too. Big dude like that.
Like that, to bend over and pick that thing up
Yeah.
like that. DBs will kick it all over the field.
Right.
We had Tavon here. He was great. Showed up 15 minutes early, signed autographs.
Good.
Took pictures with everybody.
Good.
Great. He's
outstanding young man.
And is an outstanding performance. Really,
Yes,
almost record-setting, almost historic. Walk us through. You did a little bit, but walk us through here the mindset as you're watching the punt return unfold, and the gunners in the area, and from start to finish, what you're thinking.
Yeah, what happened was I usually get him lined up. I get Tavon lined up. I run down the sideline and I get it marked off, get the yards, get him lined up, give him the return. So when I do this little signal here, it means heel's on the 8-yard line. So I gave him the signal, and I talked to him about anticipating, a fair catch here because this guy's going to kick that end-over-end kick. Well, then we had an issue outside, and we had Isaiah out on the gunner, and Isaiah was his first time playing, blocking the gunner and in a game, and I saw Isaiah go by me, and I saw the ball come, and he's got to get away. So Tavon's got to yell what we call poison and tell the guys to get out of the way, and so your Isaiah should have just jumped out of bounds. Because the ball hit you out of bounds, no big deal. Well, Isaiah was still blocking, and I was hoping that the ball didn't hit Isaiah. And then I saw him snatch it. He's trying to snatch it so it doesn't go out on the 1 and turn around and come back. And I'm going, oh, no, this isn't. And then it was like, it went from oh, no, to go, go, go.
And he got a couple of blocks there. And then the other one I went back and looked, the 81-yarder. Brian Quick drove the guy into your bench.
Oh, yeah. I know.
And that's the kind of stuff that, the naked eye, we don't see.
You don't see it.
And the average person watching at home doesn't see it. And Tavon is electrifying, but he's got help.
He's got help, yeah. It's interesting on the punt return for touchdown on the coach's tape, as you look down at it, as he's coming down the sideline, there's about 8 Colts that are all have angles. They're all there to cut him off. And the guys did a great job blocking.
They had angles.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
A game like that for Tavon is huge. But it might be bigger for Kellen Clemens to get a win like that, to be that explosive, to get the ball into the end zone that many times.
Oh, yeah. No, it was something. Well, he had 21 he put 21 up last week, and it was great. The throw, the throw to him, not the shallow cross, but the deep ball was a great throw. He missed it last week. He was first to say, I missed it last week. I didn't miss it this week. It was a great throw. And, and we're going to do that, every so often. Just turn them loose and cut it loose.
But even on the 81-yarder, Jeff, and I've noticed this about Kellen, for a guy that has had limited playing time in recent years, the eyes stay down the field.
Yeah.
It's not like he's just escaping to escape and save his life. He's got his eyes down the field, and then he kind of contorts his body and slings its sidearm and hits Tavon in motion.
And takes the hit.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, that's for a guy that he seems to be pretty comfortable, not only escaping the pocket, but keeping his eyes down the field. And you don't play a lot. That's a hard thing to do.
Yeah, and that's what he does. I mean, he recognizes things pre-snap right away. I mean, we've practiced that play, obviously, and he got man-to-man coverage, and we had a chance that there would be an intersection there, if you will. There was some congestion, and the corner got rubbed off, and that's all he needed.
Yep. The other thing I wanted to talk about was your kickoff coverage unit was spectacular at times. I mean, you've had some core guys that have been making plays. We've been talking about Stedman Bailey, but you've got other guys making plays. Nice to see the young man, the free agent from Texas Tech, Cody Davis, get some opportunities here. He's a kid that gutted out in training camp, was on practice squad, gets promoted, makes the most of his opportunities. But time and time again, they were starting either inside their 10 or their 15-yard line yesterday.
Yeah, it starts with the kick, and scheme-wise, Coach Fossil, Coach Boo, they had a really good scheme. They could not block us. Just simply stated, they just couldn't block us. They didn't know who to block. And so when you start moving people around all over, as you're kicking off, and they're going to block the 2, and the 2 pulls out as a safety, or block now we're going to double the 5, and he pulls out as a safety, and 3 guys go running by. It was fun to watch.
Great game plan.
Yeah, it was really. We kind of chuckled at the crowd. Once they finally stayed in and they clapped.
Right.
They did. The ball out of the end zone.
Yes.
I mean, it was about as loud as they were the second half.
How does that help a guy when you do that?
Yeah.
Well,
how does that help a guy? Come on.
Yeah. Well,
it's not his fault now. Right. He's trying to make a play. He just gets his butt knocked off.
But he could have taken a knee 9 yards deep after 2 times he got trapped inside the 10-yard line. The thing that Tavon just told us about you as a head coach that impresses him is that you don't panic. Look, first 4 or 5 weeks of the season, rough patch of special teams. At one point, you had 17 out of 33 assessed penalties on special teams. You were playing with the youngsters. You knew it. You didn't flinch. You didn't knee-jerk. You didn't tell guys they're not going to play anymore. You rode it out, and now you've turned the corner, and special teams, now they're playing very, very well without the penalties.
Yeah, and a lot of that has to do with the drill work that we're doing. We spend over 50% of our time on the practice field doing individual drills rather than scheme. And the individual drills are carrying over into the technique stuff's carrying over in the game now, which is good.
It's fun to see Tavon Austin return one and look back and see no flag, and then big smile comes out. It actually counts. Moving inside, how'd Roger Saffold do at guard?
Good.
From watching.
Good. Yeah, it's powerful.
You kept that hidden for a while.
Yes, I didn't want them. You don't want their defensive guys to design some stuff maybe to attack, maybe become problematic in protection, things like that. So we kept that quiet till Sunday.
Did you always think he could play in there? He had the body type, the demeanor?
Yeah, we've always thought that, and we discussed it last Monday. We talked with him about it on Tuesday. He came back all fired up, said whatever I can do to help. So it's good. And with respect to these changes, first week's good, the second week's good. The second week's better. You get in that second game after you've made a change like that, he'll play even better next week.
You were great on third down. Kev Kellen's numbers were 7 of 9 for 229 yards and 2 touchdowns on third down. Yeah, that's big time.
Yeah, third down efficiency's going like this last couple of weeks.
Yeah. And these guys were talking about in the fast lane. We always associate having a short memory with the ability to play the cornerback position, and obviously you have to do that. But you also have to have that sometimes at tackle, and particularly left tackle when you're protecting the quarterback's blind side. Jake got beat early for a sack. Then it wasn't an issue.
Right.
For him.
He was frustrated. But
he beat a tight end later, Mathis, but that's going to happen. But Jake seems to have.
Shouldn't have beat.
Sorry to bring up a sore spot.
No, it's okay. It's okay. No, I thought Kel could have stepped up, hitched a little bit quicker, because Jake's going to push him by.
Right.
He's going to push him by. And then on the one where he beat Corey, Cookie left too soon. Cookie was supposed to bang him down the line into Corey and trap him before he escaped, and he just escaped and left him on the outside rush on a tight end, and that's hard.
That is hard.
Yeah.
That guy's legit. Absolutely legit. What's the schedule for the team this week?
Well, they're the new CBA. They get 4 consecutive days off during the bye week. How about that?
I don't even want to hear that.
You don't want to hear
I'm going to turn my head on that.
I know.
4 consecutive days.
Minimum of 4 consecutive. So They will get 4 consecutive days towards the weekend. But we're gonna work a couple days. We'll work Wednesday and Thursday. With some guys aren't going to work. Some guys are going to rest. You know, some guys we're gonna treat. Some guys are going to swim. We're gonna tailor this bye week to the individual needs. Coaches are going to go back and have already started looking at things that we need to improve or things that we can add to, and those kind of things, the self-scout stuff.
You had bye weeks, though. At least you had
Not
bye
4
weeks.
days off in a row.
When Jeff played, he didn't have a bye week.
Oh, come on.
Yeah, that's right.
He didn't have a bye week. What are you talking about?
That's all right. 4 days off. Wow.
Imagine
How about you during a bye week? Do you change anything that you do? Look at yourself, how you're self-scouting?
Oh yeah, you do. We look at all the stuff. I mean, I'm going to get into offense and defense, and kind of we'll discuss some of the things, some of the directions. I mean, where can we take this stuff with Tavon, for example? You know, and do more things with him. That's just kind of scratching the surface.
All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, I think we have some questions in-house. We do. We'll take your texts, your comments as well for Jeff Fisher. Thanks for turning out on a Victory Monday night. This is the Jeff Fisher Show on 101 ESPN of the St. Louis Rams Radio Network.
It's the end of an era.
All that spare change I used to get.
Sorry, I spilled Bud Light on you.
I wrote a song. Sorry. Here we go.
The crisp, refreshing taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
Welcome back on a great Monday night. Man, what a vibe.
Awesome.
Feel the vibe here?
Yes.
How about you get this?
The buzz.
Everywhere I went today, didn't matter what I was doing, everybody wanted to talk about the Rams today.
And Tavon Austin.
Everybody wanted to talk about the Rams and Tavon Austin.
Yes.
It's a fun day in the city of St. Louis, really is. We have
Did you tell him about the score thing? Did we tell him about that 38-8?
what score thing?
38-8 has never happened before in the NFL.
You know, you've had 2 games this year where you've made history with first-time ever scores in the history of the game. Yesterday,
Really, the
38-8 has never happened.
My statistician, our statistician, Dr. Rick Weiner, lives for this stuff.
Wow.
He looked it up, and the 35-11 San Francisco game and yesterday's 38-8 were 2 first-time ever scores in the history of the NFL.
I think it was the first time for the Colts yesterday. Also, Adam Vinatieri did not play.
Did not play at all.
He was under DNP.
I was looking on the bus.
Did you see that?
I was looking at
Yeah.
that, and I'm looking at didn't play, and it says Vinatieri, and I thought, oh, that's right, he doesn't kick off.
He doesn't kick off.
I'm going to
That's
frame
a great
that.
way to win a game.
Yeah, that's right.
Keep Adam Vinatieri.
Yeah.
I wish
I'm going to frame that. Yes.
Super Bowl 36.
There you
was
go,
never
see?
played too, but that's all right. You want to take some? We got
Sure.
We got a whole bunch of
Yeah,
people
let's
here
take some,
in-house.
yeah.
Let's take some in-house
Yeah.
questions. First up is Ted.
Hey, how you doing, Coach?
Good, Ted?
Hey, so my question is, how do you keep the defense more consistent week in and week out, specifically the run defense, like I said, more consistent on a weekly basis?
Well, we work towards that every week. That's what we do. You have your opponent is drastically different week in and week out. That's the difference. The run schemes and things like that are different. But I think we're on the right track with some of the things we're doing now. Interesting, you brought up the run game. Their running backs had 1 yard rushing, right? Because Luck had 17.
Yep.
Yeah.
At one point, they had 7 carries for minus
Ted.
3 yards. Yeah, 7 carries for minus 3 yards at that point. And we remarked, I think they went a quarter and a half without running the football at one point. Yeah. All right, next up is Brody. Hey, Brody.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
All right, my question is, who are some of your favorite college football players, and do you have any potential interest in Johnny Manziel?
Okay. Favorite college football players. Honestly, I really don't pay attention to the actual players during my season. I won't get involved in that until the draft. And Johnny Manziel is a junior, so and he's a good player. I don't know if he's going to get the Heisman again this year, but he's a good player. Thank you.
Kind of partial to Auburn guys.
I was going to say you're partial to an Auburn football player.
Oh, well, yeah, and Auburn football in general. Okay, I know it's a sore subject here. Did they just jump up ahead of Mizzou?
Something like that.
Did they?
For now, yeah.
Right. I'm a Mizzou fan too, obviously.
Yes,
My son doesn't play for Mizzou. So.
Right. At this point, 8 and 9, there's not a lot of difference between 8 and 9.
Yeah.
All right, let's welcome in Gail. Gail, good evening.
Hi.
Hi, Gail.
Hey, Coach. I want to know if you have an agent like the players, and if so, do you have to answer to them if you do certain events?
Oh, okay. No, I don't have an agent. Okay. So as far player agents basically represent them to their contracts. There's all kinds of other representatives that help players as far as appearances and things like that. But I don't have one. No.
Don't have one. Have you ever had one?
No, not really. I mean,
negotiate your own deals and all that.
No, I have someone that works with me in that.
Okay.
With you.
Not,
yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Very close friend. His last name is Demoff. Marvin.
It's a good friend to have.
You know, and that's
Kevin's father.
Vice President, Rams Vice President, Kevin's father, who, for folks that don't know, was probably the first super/power agent circulating in the NFL years ago. In fact, there's a great ESPN 30 for 30 show chronicling the 1983 draft, the draft of the quarterback, and a lot of the time is spent with Marvin Demoff, who represented Marino and Elway.
Right. Yeah.
So you got a pretty good guy. You don't have any loopholes that you find in your contracts. Everything's pretty. You strike me as a guy that signs it and puts the contract away and never worries about it.
Exactly. I don't even know if I signed it.
All right. Hey, Perry, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Yeah. Congratulations on a big win.
Thank you.
My question's about Sam Bradford with his surgery pushed back. What is the expected date of that surgery? And I know what the typical timeline is on an ACL, but where do you see Sam coming back as far as doctors and trainers on this surgery?
Yeah, I don't know if you know the background on it, but what they're doing nowadays with ACLs is they don't want to go into the joint until all the effusion and swelling is out of the joint, and then you want to strengthen the quad muscles and make sure that the knee, all the muscles around it are very strong before you go in, because it's invasive. But what they do now is, and when Sam wakes up in recovery, they're going to be working on range of motion, and so you want to make sure that the integrity of the knee is good. So we pushed it back to early next week, and don't necessarily have a date yet. But as far as his return date, he's not going to miss time next fall. He won't miss time. So, we're not going to turn it into a circus, like the Redskins. And but he'll be back for camp. And whether he plays in preseason games, it's too early to tell. But Sam's a hard worker right now, has always been, and he'll come back off this really quick. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to all the questions, Perry, Gail, Brody, and Ted. He is. I would imagine it's great for him to see this team excel, but on the other hand, as a competitor, I'm sure it's eating him alive. He
didn't make the trip, just because we didn't want the knee's doing well, and the airplane and standing on the surface, and so and I didn't see him today, but I'm sure he's really excited for everybody.
ACL surgery, since the time you played, man, sports medicine has come. Those were the zippers that were that long and that wide, and very rarely did anybody that required stopping and starting on a dime and twisting ever came back and was the same.
Yeah, there were zippers for meniscus back then, ACLs were, they were casted for 6 months.
Wow. Yeah. Think about that.
Yeah.
What's a quarterback allowed to do when he's rehabbing? Can he throw just standing, sitting, throwing a football, or just he's done? He'll be able to throw. Yeah, throwing's. Not real early. He doesn't need to do that real early. But once he gets around and he's walking and starts jogging and and stable, you can do those things.
It was a great locker room. I understand. Very, very joyous. Very
they're
happy,
having fun.
Very upset. Your boy Mike Waffle apparently got down with the players.
Did he really?
Dancing.
Did he dance?
Dancing.
He's got a little dance in him.
That's what I heard.
Okay.
That's what I've heard. It was critiqued in the paper.
Was it?
Yeah.
I didn't see it, but it doesn't surprise me.
No.
He's done it. He's done tremendous.
And his group has been
the thing about the group.
Dynamic. Yeah,
it's been dynamic. And we mentioned it last week. You're getting a rush without having to take a lot of risk. You're getting a 4-man rush, but for the second year in a row, it's ascending as the season goes on. It's getting better, and the sacks are coming from, all over the place.
O-linemen are wearing down, and we're keeping our D-line fresh with the rotation, with the wave, the 4 deep. Kept 8 up, kept Conrath up. Mac got to play a little bit inside.
Yeah. Cujo, your shortest D tackle, keeps knocking down passes.
Oh, no.
How's that happen? Great timing?
That's great timing, yeah.
Langford, okay? Yeah. I know you don't give injury reports, but he's playing his butt off, yeah.
Yeah, he's okay. Yeah.
He's okay.
Wow, he's been good the last 2 weeks. Almost unblockable at times.
Yes. Yeah. Sometimes I like to pee on the other side of that block, though. you know.
Be on the other side of the block.
On
okay.
the correct side of the block.
I
rather
see.
than-
You're never wrong if you're up the field.
That's right. You're
That's
never wrong.
If you're up the field, you're never wrong.
That's what he said.
You're okay as long as it's a tackle for loss.
There you go.
Okay.
See? If you miss,
So
make
he
the
just
play.
modified you. He just modified your
a little bit
your statement.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, go ahead.
The one guy that I was around that was uncanny for that was Jerome Brown.
Backside guy.
He backside will just do whatever he wanted. I mean, he would just look over on the sideline and says, "I'm going to make a play." And I said, "Okay, make it."
So the ends would justify the means for you.
Yes, yeah.
You didn't worry about technique as long as the
no,
play was made.
no,
The
as
big
long
player.
as made it,
Great
yeah.
player.
Yeah.
Offsides bother you? Encroachments?
Yes. On 3rd and 4.
Third and 4?
2, 3rd and 1. Yes.
Now, did you believe yesterday there were some shenanigans there at the line of scrimmage? 'Cause
Yeah, there was.
You were chewing on it.
The first time I asked the referee to watch the quarterback, watch his hands and his head, because Andrew was pretty sudden. He could have been called for false start, and so he warned him. So then it was all audio. But this is my feeling on that. Is I went through experience 5 or 6 years ago. And we were first in the league in defensive offsides, but we were also first in the league in sack per pass play. The team that was last in the league in defensive offsides was also, coincidentally, last in sacks. So
it's one of those things.
Correlation
yes,
there.
yeah, there's a little guessing.
Well,
now you got to take it beyond. Look, if it's not on 1, it's on 2, so I'm going on 1.5, right?
Yeah, right.
That's hot. Yeah.
I think you got banged for
He's
a
been
couple of
listening
5-yarders the year you had 10.5, 11
If
sacks.
it's not on 1, it's on 2. If it's not on 2, I'm offsides.
Yeah. Right. So I'm going on 1.5.
It's such a simple game when you boil it down. We'll take a break, come back for more on the Jeff Fisher Show here on 101 ESPN and the St. Louis Rams Radio Network.
It's the end of an era.
All that spare change I used to get.
Sorry, I spilled Bud Light on you.
I wrote a song. Sorry. Here we go.
The crisp, refreshing taste of Bud Light. Here we go.
Welcome back. The Rams are going to head into their bye week. You going to miss this next week? I don't know if we're doing a show.
We're not?
It's okay. Me, if we do
We'll
one,
be here.
We'll be here. We can preview. We can spend an hour previewing.
So I'm not coming next Monday?
Oh, maybe I spoke out of turn here.
I'll come if you want me to come.
There you go. Yeah,
okay.
absolutely.
Yes.
Yes.
We always want you to come. I think the fans appreciate you coming out, too, as well. All right, we have another question in-house. Jennifer, who is so appropriately attired tonight on this Victory Monday. You look so sharp there, Jennifer.
My veteran pin.
Go ahead and speak into the microphone. Your veteran pin on your...
Oh, no, I'm not a veteran. No.
But it's okay. You got a veteran. You got a pin, American flag on your St. Louis Rams sweater.
Absolutely.
Yes. Fire away. Whatever's on
ready.
your mind. You're ready. You look
I'm
like
nervous.
Well, ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
All right.
We haven't been to Thanksgiving
Not
yet.
yet.
Okay.
It's okay, a little early. Go ahead.
Well, first of all, we want to thank you for such an exciting, unbelievable Sunday. Too bad it wasn't at home, but it was exciting watching it. So anyway, we want to thank you for kind of bringing things together here. It's been a tough time.
Thank you. We're not there yet. It's a work in progress.
And under all of the controversy and things, I think we're finally got the glue. And I'm excited about the rest of the season. And I was wondering, what is actually on your Christmas list?
Interesting. Interesting.
I haven't got there yet.
Not there? Okay.
No.
All right.
You know what? I want to beat the Bears.
Amen.
Yes, ma'am.
Amen. Amen to that.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Jennifer. Appreciate it. Here's a question that came into us. Has Roger Saffold played guard at any other level for a significant amount of time?
No. I don't believe he has. I think I overheard him saying it's really his first time. Or hasn't played in a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah. A tackle.
What do you look for in a guard versus a tackle? What are you looking for? What are the core attributes?
Well, he's going to pull. He's going to help center. He's going to help tackle. He's going to, go down second level, depending on the front. Just and he's that much closer to your quarterback. He's solid inside. You can, as Dean knows, you can get outside speed. if you don't have inside push, the quarterback just steps up in the pocket and he's fine. But if you get the combination of the push and the speed, the pocket collapses. Rodgers got a chance to, eliminate that inside push stuff.
He played well. You liked the way he played. Did he like playing in there?
Yeah, he did. He was excited. Yeah.
He was,
yeah. After the ball game, I talked to him and asked him how he did. He said, "I thought I did okay. I enjoyed it." Yeah.
Zach Stacy didn't have a monster day statistically, but he was effective.
Yes.
And you
a
stuck
lot of
with
that,
it.
Yeah, we stuck with it. A lot of that was, they know that we need to run the ball in the second half to shorten the game.
Right.
And so there was a lot of stuff going on up front, a lot of 8-man front stuff. But and stunting and slanting and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, he hung in there. I mean, he hung in there, had a couple key first downs, and then it was nice to break the big one, the 4-minute. Benny to break the big one.
Wow, he was gone.
Yeah, I was going to say that was good, 56-yarder, which is the longest run. You like Benny Cunningham. You've liked him since he showed up here, haven't you? What do you like about him specifically?
Just he's consistent. He's really got good vision. Their running styles are similar. Sometimes if you don't look at the jersey number, that's the Ram back though. That's what we like. But yeah, he's got good quickness and hands, and he's really doing a nice job on special teams. When Matt Gia went down as a personal protector, Benny went into personal protector, made all the calls, and just made sure we got those punts upon them.
Am I seeing this right? It seems like Zach Stacy, Benny Cunningham, they don't miss too many reads. They're in the right gap, in the right hole. We said this on the air.
Right.
He got 2 yards, but that's all that was there.
Yeah. And it's it's that thing where you'd like to in a close ball game or in the perfect ball game, those runs that for 2 and 3 yards, those gains for 2 and 3 yards early become 4 and 5 third quarter, that become 6, 8, and 10 in the fourth. And both of them have the capability of doing that.
Zach is a guy that, if you get down to it, at the goal line is really tough to stuff and keep out. He's got such a low center of gravity.
Right.
He spins off tackles really, really well.
He does.
I mean, really does.
Yeah.
He gains a yard or two almost every time by spinning out of a tackle. Tremaine Johnson, talk about the way he's played. We were talking a little bit like his game is on the rise here in the last month or so.
Yeah, it's coming. He's taking the practice stuff onto Sundays. Early in his career, he was practicing well, but then he gets in the game and does something a little different technique-wise, and so he's trusting his technique now. Now, he's got a ways to go, but, yeah, he's been doing better. It's been good to see him. He got fooled once, in play action, and tight end got behind him, but, and you don't normally see Andrew Luck miss that throw. He overthrew the tight end. We dodged a bullet. But, those are the little things, the detail things he needs to keep working on.
He's so long.
Yeah, he is.
He is so long when he goes up. Cortland Finnegan coming back. I like his stuff going towards the quarterback on blitzes. He is vicious going that way.
Yeah, he is. He creates problems and can find a way. He's sneaky, can find a way, and he has good sense for timing as well.
How is Alec Ogletree progressing? How's he playing right now?
Good. He's been kind of dealing with a little ankle issue, but everybody's got issues right now, as we say. But he's doing fine. He's picking things up, and he's been much more consistent in coverage. Fewer little breakdown things here and there. He's relating more in zones, and so he's coming.
Rodney McLeod still ascending in safety. You like what he's doing?
Yeah. Once we got Court back to nickel, and then Rodney can just play safety. Been doing much better.
You were asking a lot of him, you're saying.
Oh, gosh, he's covering kickoffs for us.
Right. Well, and he's doing a great job covering kickoffs.
Yeah.
But just the dual role, not having to worry about the dual role in the secondary.
Yeah.
That's a difficult deal.
Yeah, it is, especially when you start doing a lot of things against someone that's also giving you a lot of looks.
So, again, the schedule is that you'll work the players for a couple of days, and then they'll get Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Something like that, yes.
Something like that. It's got to be 4 days.
4 days, yes. Something.
Would you stop laughing about that?
Why can't we get 4 dadays off? It's our bye week too.
You could get 4 days.
Why can't we
if you
get 4 days
to.
off?
Maybe you need Mr. Demoff to represent you or something.
I need to be working for Coach Fisher. See, I get 4 days then. That's just not even fair.
Why don't you take Monday off and I'll sit there?
No, that's all right. I'll sit right here.
Yeah,
as he slides backwards.
As I'm watching that left hand.
So the coaches will get a chance to get away. You'll get a chance to get away, right?
Yes.
I'll recharge your batteries. Everybody gets a few days away from this thing.
Have a chance to go get a cup of coffee someplace.
Cup of coffee someplace. All right. Jeff, we'll turn you loose, man. It was
okay,
fun.
Guys.
Thank you very much. Good to see you. Jeff, good to see you. What a great turnout, man. What a great turnout. And again, the whole city's buzzing today, man. The whole city is buzzing. Everywhere I've been, people are talking about the Rams.
Yeah, we have this discussion, football town, sports town. It's here, right? You see it. It's right there. You give people something to be excited about, and they're going to get excited. Tavon Austin keeps playing like that. This defensive line keeps getting after quarterbacks. You keep winning games like that, it's going to be like this all the time.
Well, what'll be fun is to get the bye week, come home, beat the Bears here before Thanksgiving, and then you win that game, and then you got a chance. You're going to San Francisco playing to win your third in a row and get back to 500, which would be very, very significant at that point. You're back in the race.
Yeah, San Francisco struggling, throwing the football. They're still tough, good defense, but there's some winnable games out there. I bet this win right here, like you said, it shocked St. Louis. Got everybody excited, but can you imagine seeing those scores around the league?
Well, that's what I said. That score, when it was 38-0, was it 28-0? I said, this thing is raising some eyebrows across NFL Stadium.
Yes, sir. Nothing to sleep on.
All right, it was fun. I want to thank all of you for showing up, all of you that participated, all you listening, for Dodie Rahman, Chris Files, Michelle Smallman, DeMarco Farr, for Jeff Fisher and Tavon Austin. I'm Steve Savard. Thank you for tuning in to the Jeff Fisher Show on 101 ESPN and the St. Louis Rams Radio Network.